Hey friends, and welcome to my first ever tutorial in English. Um, I've created this pop-up page for my December daily, and I wanted to share this tutorial with you so that you could add it either to your December daily or to any other scrapbooking page. So this is already in my album, as you can see, to cover part of the photo base. I used the number 6 because this is in my album as day 6. For my base, the size is about a little bit less than 12 inches wide and 8¼ inches high, and to make it fit my album, I'm scoring at 7 inches here and making a fold where my pop-up mechanism will go. Right. I've used, for the inside, I used a 3x8 journaling card from Ellie Edwards. And for the outside, I used a pattern paper and just printed it onto my cardstock here. I'm punching the holes up front, just eyeballing. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, and the pages do not have to line up 100%. So next up, we are going to look at the photo base. That's a piece of paper that's 12 inches wide and 4 inches high, and I'm scoring here at 3, 6, and 9 so that I have a place to hold 4 3x4 pictures. I'm going to use a photo or a base for my photos. You could easily just print 4 photos out and then fold them like this, but my photo paper is just too thick to fold and it just wouldn't look nice, so that's why I'm using this photo base here. Next up is the paper piece for the pop-up mechanism. It is 7 inches long and 4 inches wide, and I'm scoring at 2 inches so that I can fold the piece in half. So, and I wanted to say that for my photo base, I'm this time not using 4 photos, but 3 photos and a little envelope, which you will see at the end of this video. Now with my pop-up mechanism, my little piece of paper here, I need to create I call it a crossfold. Yeah, so I'm taking a ruler here and I'm measuring 1½ inches from the right side in and from the left side in, and marking those spots. And I'm turning my paper and doing that over again. Again, 1½ inches from the left and from the right. So next up, I'm lining up my mark at the top with the mark on the right bottom to make a fold. You don't necessarily need a ruler here. You could just pull this paper over and make sure that the paper lines up with both marks on both sides, like so. I don't know, I saw it on video like this, and I just adapted it. But now just realizing that you don't really need a ruler. See, when I'm folding the paper over, where my right or left thumbnail is, there it lines up with the mark on that side. So you could easily just fold it like that. Now you take the longer side of that paper and you just push it in like so, and this creates what I call a little arrow. Yeah, it looks like an arrow to me. There you go. Just using that bone folder again for a very tight fold there. Next up, I'm getting out my red line tape, and I'm going to put red line tape on the sides of the triangle that you can see there. So while I'm putting that on, I'm just going to tell you how I came about that pop-up page. I was actually inspired by Pam Baldwin. She created a photo pop-up for, I think it was December Daily Prep Day from Ali Edwards. I think it was a prep day, I'm not really sure anymore. And so I was really excited and thought, well, I need something like this for my album. And since I wasn't sure if I would get those kinds of pictures for that photo pop-up that Pam created, I decided to look for something smaller. You need to put the red line tape on both sides of the mechanism here. So yeah, you can see my paper base on the right side there. I've created my journaling and put it on the page directly in Photoshop, as well as the digital stamp on the right side, which you will see later again. So it really took me some time to, get the right measurements, have it, fit into the album, and also have enough space for multiple photos. So Pam Baldwin inspired me, and I checked on YouTube for similar tutorials so that I could create it or create a page for my album. Next up, I need to mark the middle of my fold there so that I can line up my pop-up mechanism properly. So I'm just using a ruler and taking the middle and marking that just with a pencil. So next up, I'm taking off the plastic backing of the red line tape. I like to use tweezers for that. I have long nails, so it's usually kind of hard for me to get red line tape off anything. So I'm just using that. And since we have a little arrow here, we are just going to make that point towards our little mark that we did here. And now I'm taking off the plastic backing from the other side, and I'm just going to close my page here now, and I'm pressing it down just a little bit, and my pop-up mechanism is already finished. There you go. So next up, I'm using my photo base again to mark the spots on the pop-up mechanism where I'm going to put some more red line tape. I'm going to center it where the cross fold creates some sort of middle point, and as you can see here, I've put the outside photos inside, so that's not how it's going to be at the end. And I'm folding just one side up and one side down, and that creates like a little gap on the pop-up mechanism. And I'm just putting down one stripe of red line tape. It's strong enough, and it really holds the photo base in place. You could probably make the photo base, not the photo base, the pop-up mechanism a little bit longer, like 8" or something like that, and then have 2 lines of red line tape. But really, it's not necessary. So I've prepared my pop-up mechanism for the final step, but before I do that, I'm gonna adhere my photos onto my photo base. And because I'm almost 40, I forgot what in what order I put the photos on the original piece. So I'm just checking that again in my album. So I've created a little template in Photoshop and put my 3 photos on there, and for whatever reason they are a little bit bigger than 3x4, so I need to cut them down, which you will see in a little bit, using rolling adhesive here and making sure that I get my photos not too much into the folds so that it doesn't bend, but still bends or folds nicely when I close this. Yeah, I'm realizing that it's more than 3 inches wide, I think, so I need to cut it down a little bit. Was a little bit tricky with the adhesive on the back already. Again, checking if I'm cutting from the right side so that my head is still left and not half of it cut off, so that fits better. And since I'm always up for learning, I cut my other photos beforehand this time. There's still a little bit hanging over, yeah, so that picture is also not exactly 4 inches wide, a little bit more, I would say. So I'm the end, before I'm putting the photo base down, I'm cutting that as well. So I've chosen this pop-up page for December 6th, as this is a very special day in my life. Every December, it's my wedding day. So 8 years ago, I said yes to the man of my dreams. So, and you can see this in these pictures. In the middle, there is a picture of me showing off my new earrings, gold earrings that I got from my husband. The bottom picture shows 8 roses that I'm getting each year, and they're was my husband showing off his gift from me to him, a Lego Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious. So he was working on that night and wanted to show me how far he's gotten already. So that last picture shows 8 roses, and the top photo shows my son's feet and his new little reindeer shoes to keep his feet warm. December 6th is also St. Nicholas here in Germany, so that's what he got. As I said in the beginning, I decided to put a small envelope on my photo base instead of a fourth photo. In that, I'm keeping a letter that my son got from St. Nicholas. So always using a bone folder to make sure those folds and creases are tightened. So now I'm cutting the paper that's showing that it's too long for my photo base. And we are almost at the end of this video here. In the next step, I'm preparing the red line tape, taking off the plastic cover there. The red tape it is, right? With my tweezers, of course. And yeah, it's not easy with tweezers as well. So to prepare my photo base, I need to fold the 2 photos from the outside towards the inside, as you will see in a little bit, making sure I line up everything in the middle of the pop-up mechanism, and then unfolding my photo base again. First the top, I'm pressing it down onto the red line tape, and next up the bottom. Then the next step, I need to push my finger in the middle and push the photos up, and my pop-up mechanism is all done. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. I'm always there to help. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.